okay? Let me just show you something first. This is a sample bank statement, the kind of thing most of us look at once a month and then close. I've put together this example to walk you through something I actually did with my own finances. And what I found genuinely surprised me. Watch this running total in the corner. $14.99, $29.99, $49, $9.99, $139, $19.99. Keep going. The counter just passed $200 per month, $349 every single month. When I sat down and actually mapped out my own subscription spending for the first time, I found charges I had completely forgotten about, services I hadn't used in months, and a few things I was massively overpaying for. The total came out to roughly $350 a month. That's over $4,000 a year, going out automatically, quietly, without me ever consciously choosing to spend it. The average person estimates they spend somewhere around $80 to $100 a month on subscriptions. The measured average is closer to $220 to $270. That's a significant gap between perception and reality. This video is going to show you how to find yours. No app required. No third party, access to your accounts, just your statements in about 15 to 20 minutes. Before I walk you through the audit process, I want to talk about why subscription overspending is so common. Most people who've dealt with it feel embarrassed about it, and they shouldn't. The pattern isn't random. Studies suggest that around 40% of people have at least one active subscription they've completely forgotten about. Not one they're reconsidering. Not one they're thinking of canceling. One they do not remember exists, and that is still billing them. More than half of households have at least one subscription they aren't using in any given month, not planning to use, currently paying for, and not touching. Roughly 60% of people have been charged after forgetting to cancel a free trial at least once. These aren't small numbers. This is a widespread, consistent pattern across income levels and demographics. The reason it keeps happening comes down to three things. And once you understand these three things, the audit process makes a lot more sense. The first is fragmentation. Your subscriptions are probably spread across 4 or 5 different payment methods. One streaming service on a credit card, music on your debit account, app subscriptions folded into your phone bill, another service going through PayPal, annual software charges on a card you rarely check. No single statement gives you the full picture. So most people never actually see the full picture. The second is annual billing. You pay $140 in January for cloud storage, or antivirus software, or a professional membership. The charge is going through. You don't think about it again for 12 months. By the following January, you've paid for another year you may not have wanted because you forgot it existed. Annual subscriptions are the most frequently overlooked category in every subscription audit. The third is trial to paid conversion design. Free trials are structured around a simple behavioral reality. People start things with good intentions and then get busy. The 7-day trial window is short enough that it expires before most people circle back. That's not accidental. It's a conversion mechanism. Understanding that helps you build a system to counter it, which we'll get to in the prevention section. None of this is about discipline or financial awareness. It's a structural problem, and structural problems respond to structural solutions. Let's say your audit finds $100 a month in subscriptions you're not using or could reduce. $100 a month is $1,200 a year. Useful to know. But here's the more interesting version of that number. If instead of paying for subscriptions you don't use, you moved that $100 per month into a high-yield savings account, something currently available in the 4 to 4.5% range. After 1 year, you'd have around $1,230. After 3 years, roughly $3,800 with interest compounding. After 5 years, you're looking at somewhere in the range of $6,600 to $6,700 from $100 a month, money that was already leaving your account. If your audit turns up $150 a month, which is below the average for unused subscription spending, the 5-year number climbs past $10,000. I'm not presenting those numbers to make subscriptions seem villainous. Subscriptions you use and value are worth paying for. The point is that unused subscriptions have a real long-term cost that doesn't show up in the monthly charge. And the math only becomes visible when you do the audit. Most people, when they think about their subscription spending, they only picture Netflix and music streaming platforms. They check one account, find a couple of charges, and consider the job done. That's a partial audit. A real audit covers all 8 categories where subscriptions commonly live. Streaming video is the most visible category. Netflix, Disney Plus, Max, Hulu, Peacock, Paramount Plus, Apple TV Plus. Most people know what they have here. The forgotten risk is medium. Usually, it's the second or third service that slips through. Music and podcast subscriptions. Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Audible. The forgotten risk here is low for music. The one that gets forgotten is Audible, especially if you haven't opened it in a few months. Food delivery, memberships, and other transport memberships. These have a high forgotten risk because the app itself reminds you of the benefits. But the reminder only works if you're using the right app. If you're paying for Uber One but only ordering from DoorDash, you're getting nothing from it. Software and app subscriptions. Adobe, Microsoft, Combo Dropbox, Grammarly, password managers. This category has a high forgotten risk, particularly for people who have or had a side project or small business. You sign up for something during a specific project. The project wraps up. The subscription keeps running. Gaming. Xbox, Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, Apple Arcade, Nintendo Switch Online. The forgotten ones are tied to consoles that haven't been used in a while. News and content, newspaper digital subscriptions, Substack newsletters, Patreon, creator support. You supported a creator you loved 80 months ago? Their posting frequency dropped off. You haven't read them in 6 months. The charge is still there. Fitness and health. Gym memberships, Peloton app, Headspace, and .com. Other fitness apps. The meditation app you downloaded during a stressful week in 2022 and opened 4 times. Annual subscriptions. This is the highest forgotten risk category of all. Antivirus software, cloud storage upgrades, domain names, professional memberships, identity protection services. A single charge per year is infrequent enough that your brain doesn't flag it as a recurring expense. You pay it once, it disappears from your awareness, and it comes back the following year as a surprise. These are the charges most people miss entirely on a standard monthly audit, which is why this process covers 12 months of statements rather than just one. 5 steps. You can run this in one sitting in about 15 to 20 minutes. Everything you need is either already in your bank's online portal or in a basic spreadsheet. Step 1. Gather your materials. This step is where most people cut corners. They checked one account, find a handful of charges, and stop. Then they wonder why they're still overspending 3 months later. A complete audit requires statements from every account you use for payments checking. Every credit card, PayPal, Venmo. It also means checking your device-native subscription lists. On iPhone, go to Settings, tap your name, then Subscriptions. On Android, open the Google Play Store, tap your profile, then Payments and Subscriptions. These device lists often contain subscriptions bundled into a single Apple or Google charge, which makes them easy to miss. Download the last 12 months as PDFs. Not just last month, but 12 months. Annual charges only appear once. And if you only look at 1 month, you will miss them. Open a spreadsheet alongside your statements. Set a timer for 20 minutes. Having a time boundary removes the mental barrier that causes most people to put it off indefinitely. Step 2. The highlight scan. Go through every statement line by line. Your job is not to evaluate, not to judge, just identify every recurring charge. Use your PDF viewer search function to catch the ones your eye might skip over. Search for Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Spotify, Adobe, Hulu, Audible, Dropbox, Canva, charges on the same calendar date every month. That's almost always a subscription. Amounts ending in 99 cents. This is standard subscription pricing, and it's a useful signal. Charges from company names you don't immediately recognize. Many services bill under a parent company name rather than the product name, AMZ and MKTP is Amazon. PayPal, Apple is a specific app. Any charge you don't recognize immediately, look it up right then. If a charge shows up that you genuinely cannot identify, flag it separately. That might be a billing error or an unauthorized charge. Go through every statement from every account until you've captured every recurring charge. When you're done, look at the total. That number at the bottom of your spreadsheet is probably different from what you estimated. Step 3, the 3-column sort. Create 3 columns: keep, cut, negotiate. Keep means 2 things are both true. You use this service at least a few times a month. And if the charge appeared for the first time today, you would consciously choose to pay it. Both conditions, not just one. If you use it but wouldn't choose to pay again today, it belongs in cut or negotiate. Cut means you haven't used it in 30 or more days, you forgot it existed until this audit, or you're paying for something you get elsewhere for free. When a charge lands in the cut column, the decision is made. There's no further deliberation needed. Negotiate means you use the service and want to keep it, but the current price feels high either because it increased or a competitor offers something comparable for less. Work through your full list. Every single charge gets a column. No charge stays in limbo. When you're done, look at the subtotal for the cut column. Multiply it by 12. That's the annual amount you've identified as recoverable, and you found it in about 10 minutes. Step 4, the cancellation sprint. Move through the cut column and cancel each service today. The sooner you do it, the sooner the savings begin. Every day you wait is money you've already decided you don't want to spend. For most services, cancellation is available through account settings. Navigate to settings, find the billing or subscription section, and cancel. I'd suggest going through account settings directly rather than contacting customer support by phone. Phone-based cancellation often involves a retention conversation. The representative may offer discounts or account pauses. If the service is in your cut column, a discount doesn't change the assessment. You decided you don't use it. A reduced price for something you don't use is still an unnecessary expense. For annual subscriptions that renewed very recently, contact support and request a refund. I was just charged for an annual renewal I intended to cancel. I'd like to request a refund and cancel this subscription. This doesn't always succeed, but it succeeds often enough to be worth trying. After each cancellation, take a screenshot of the confirmation screen. If a charge reappears, the confirmation screenshot is your documentation for a bank dispute. Step 5, the negotiation calls. A short phone call or live chat can often reduce the price by 20 to 40%. You've been a customer for some period of time. The current price has gotten high enough that you're considering canceling. Hi, I've been a customer for about 2 years, and honestly, the price has gotten to the point where I'm thinking about canceling. Is there anything you can do? The key phrase is that you're considering canceling, which routes the conversation to someone with retention authority. The categories where this works most reliably are internet and cable providers, gym memberships, and annual software subscriptions. Streaming services are generally not worth calling about. They have standardized pricing. If a streaming service is in your negotiate column, cancel and watch for a promotional resubscription offer. Many streaming platforms send discounted comeback offers within 30 to 60 days of cancellation. In the keep column, main streaming, music, subscription, office suite, small cloud storage, around $50 a month. These are used, valued, and consciously chosen. In the cut column, forgotten fitness app, duplicate cloud storage, unused audiobook subscription, lapsed creator support, wrong food delivery membership, annual antivirus auto-renewal. Combined, that's around $70 to $80 a month, about $900 a year. In the negotiate column, internet provider and one annual software subscription. With negotiation, those might come down by $30 to $40 a month, another $400 or so annually. That's a combined finding of roughly $1,300 per year from one audit in under an hour. If you redirect $120 a month into a dedicated savings account at 4% annually, after year 1, roughly $1,400. After year 3, around $4,500. After 5 years, close to $8,000. That's not investment returns or speculation. That's what happens when money that was already leaving your account gets redirected to something that compounds. The goal isn't to make your life smaller. It's to make sure every dollar is doing something you decided it should do. The audit is the starting point. The system is what makes it stick. Here are 4 habits that prevent subscription drift from coming back. The first is the repurchased test. Before any subscription auto-renews, ask yourself, if this charge showed up for the first time today, would I sign up? If the honest answer is no, cancel before it renews. Set a calendar reminder 3 days before each annual renewal date. The second habit is consolidating to one payment method for all subscriptions. Pick one credit card and update every subscription to bill through it. One statement to check instead of 4 or 5. This reduces the audit time from 20 minutes to about 5. New subscription charges become much more visible because they all appear in one place. The third habit is the trial calendar rule. Before starting any free trial, set a phone reminder for 5 days before the trial ends. Not the last day, 5 days before. That buffer time is what the 60% who get caught didn't have. The reminder is just a decision prompt keeper console. That's all it takes. The fourth habit is a quarterly 15-minute check-in. Once every 3 months, open your one subscription card statement and run a quick scan. New subscriptions show up, annual charges come due. The stack drifts. 15 minutes, 4 times a year, 1 hour total. That's what it takes to maintain. This whole process works with your bank's standard PDF statement export, no third-party app access required. Your bank statements, a spreadsheet, and 30 minutes a quarter. That's the whole system. Step 1. Gather 12 months of statements from every account, checking, credit cards, PayPal, and your device's subscription list. Step 2. Scan for every recurring charge. Use the search function. Flag anything unrecognized. Step 3. Sort every charge into 3 columns. Keep, cut, or negotiate. Step 4. Cancel everything in the cut column today. Screenshot the confirmations. Step 5. Make the negotiation calls for the negotiate column. Set up the 4 habits, repurchase test, 1 card, trial calendar rule, quarterly review. Take your monthly savings number and set up an automatic transfer to a high-yield savings account. Do it the same day as the audit. That step is what converts the audit from a one-time exercise into a permanent change. Most people spend more on subscriptions than they think they do. The gap between estimated and actual spending is consistent across the research, and most of the excess is recoverable with a single focused review. This process works. It's not complicated. It just requires actually doing it. If you run your audit and want to share what you found, feel free to drop it in the comments. Seeing real numbers from real people is genuinely useful.